Welcome back to another episode of Homesteading on Main Street. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of storage. Today we're going to focus on flower storage, um, specifically the 5-pound bags. Originally when flour was sold, it was sold in mesh bags um, because it needed an airing process for about 2 weeks to process through. Nowadays, the way they process the flour, they can skip that, but they still continue to use bags for storage, which isn't always the greatest and tends to get a little bit of messy. For myself, this is my bread machine flour. This is super easy for me to grab in, access, get what I need, and go. So I like to use that for my most used flour. My all-purpose flour, my whole wheat flour, those don't tend to get used as much, so I like to take them out of the bags and put them in a more sturdy container. I just don't have the storage space to have a bunch of beautiful decorated canisters that would like match a kitchen. I kind of go for more functional than frill, but whatever works best for you. But I do like to get them out of the bag. This happens to be a 38.8 ounce container, obviously coffee, but I love to be able to repurpose any types of containers that I can for my use of protecting my other, whether it be fruits, vegetables, foods, consumables, even seeds, when I save seeds off things. For this one, I've cleaned it out really well, did a little bleach treatment, and again, you always have the proof issues with flour. And with keeping in mind with flour, when I dump it into this container, it goes very easily. I don't have to sift or shake it down at all. But as you can see, I'm nearing the top and I'm about 3/4 of the way through. Typically, I like to shake it down, get it to settle some, so I can fit the rest of the bag in. Again, this is a 5-pound bag, and it's a 38.8 ounce used coffee container. A little bit hanging up here. And sometimes you got to go through a couple of shakes. Oops, wipe my bag over. See, as you can see, she's settling down again. Let's see if we can't get the rest of this in here. You see a little shake. Yeah, I felt a little. Get her in there and there. We've got a much neater, cleaner, although a little dusty at the moment, flour container. One of the things I like to also do, helps if you have all your tools ready, I like to go through and cut out the best by dates, along as any company code that they may have. Because some of these codes, let's say if there was ever a recall on something, you would want to know whether or not this was part of the recall. So I like to keep these. I tape it to the lid here, as well as it's also handy sometimes, depending on the nutritional needs of your family or the things that you're watching for, to cut out your nutrition facts, and you can cut it up pretty or use plinking scissors or whatever if you want something a little bit more decorative. But I like to trim these off. It also includes your ingredients on the bottom end of it, as well as any warnings, like this one says contains wheat. And I think they fit nice and handy right here. I tape it to the bottom, and then it's right there. Every time you grab it, you've got all the information that you need. If you have any other sizes that you would like some information on for storage or using it a different way, drop a comment and I'll see what I can do to come up to fit your needs. I know some other countries sell their packages in different sizes, so if you would like to know any other information, this is so our 5-pound bag of flour is actually 2.26 kilograms, and the size container is a 1.1 kilogram container, for those who aren't in the same measurements that I've got here. If you've got any questions, please let me know. If you've got a cool way that you like to store things, drop a comment. If you like what I do here, please feel free to subscribe, and look forward to seeing you. So here we have our finished flower container. We've got our best by date along with the stamping information in case of recall, as well as your nutrition facts, your ingredients, and any warning issues they have. I like to fold over the tape when I put it on. That way it's an easy grab and go when I'm ready to change out for another one in case it's not the same company or brand that I've used before. One of the things I want to mention in regards to flour and container like these, especially when you're sifting, when you scoop out make sure you are sifting the flour and not counting that as your actual measurement, because you have compacted the flour, especially in your baking. You can really screw up your recipe and have your breads change the way they're being made, or the cookies. Make sure, especially when you're using this type of container storage, that you are sifting the flour and then making your measurement from it. Or I've also, by spooning it out, it gives it a chance to air and shake into your measuring container, and it just will give you a much more accurate measurement. This one's a little bit easier because it kind of stays light and fluffy, and I'm able to give it a little shake before I scoop. But I believe most bakers will tell you to spoon out from here as well. And if anybody who's asking, this is my little biscuit container that I repurposed into my flour container. I just love her, and she makes me so happy when it's time to get the bread out. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here at Homesteading on Main Street. I hope you enjoyed our little video on flour storage, and let us know if there's anything else you'd like to know about how we do here, and I'll keep getting braver and attempting to do more. I apologize, I am so terribly nervous doing these. If you were here in my kitchen, I could talk and rattle on and on about what I do and what I enjoy, and this is just a new thing for me, and bear with me while I learn it and share with you.